Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that if you want to be a part of our tech conversation, you can find us on SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork at sabc.co.za on email. Our Twitter poll this week is asking you about the future of work and if you've thought about it. And this as it was Workers' Day recently. Results of that poll are coming up later in the program. Here's what's coming up tonight. We look at cybersecurity. We also have information on foldable phones. And our discussion is on the future of travel as we are at Travel Indaba. Much of what we do happens on our phones. That means it also happens online. But do we ever think about how safe we are online? Sandile Hlangane, our producer, tells us about this.
For the past few years, KSP has hosted this event on cybersecurity, a one-day event featuring compelling lecturers from international leaders in the disciplines of emerging technologies.
Cybersecurity is becoming a very important subject for government and enterprise because when we talk about government, if there is a target attack, for example, it can make damage inside of the government. It can make damage on the different services, and also maybe one of the biggest damages is stealing of information. Okay, these information are extremely valuable, and when this information are outside of the government, it's a big national risk for the government.
IoT devices came top here. These devices are growing exponentially in numbers, but along with growth comes growing pain.
Internet of things or Internet of vulnerable things, because the manufacturers coming, it's not secure. They care about the performance, they care about making our life easy but not secure. So as we discussed in this conference, that we need to read the manual, the manufacturers, the technology product, how to secure it. Change the password, the default password, change the structure of it, make sure if it is connected, it's connected with our knowledge. Don't connect it or make people connected easy to them. So how we can secure it, how we can stop the vulnerability. Read more about a type of vulnerability for such technology.
If we want to use technology, we need to protect it, because these mobile devices can have microphones and cameras, and these could be misused. Computers, the same. Mobile devices, they are tracking our movement and our even our GPS location, and this all could be misused in order to cause damage to the user, to steal his data, to spy on him, blackmail. A lot of damage could be done, sadly, and cybersecurity is the protection of all of this data.
The increasing popularity of the internet makes it important for everyone to understand cybercrime and why it is so important to stay safe online.
It depends on the solution, it depends on the person, the organization. There are different types of solutions that are recommended for every single user. For home families, we recommend definitely antivirus solutions to be deployed on computers and mobile systems. For organizations, there are different levels of solutions. For governments, different levels, etc., etc.
We are all lucky enough to live in a world full of interconnected devices. The flip side of this is that anything connected to the internet is potentially vulnerable.
This is a new concept for all of us. So we are just getting accustomed to having all devices to password protected or not. Sometimes we are just connecting too easily to any cloud, and we are just using it quite easily. It is very good in terms of our personal efficiency, but sometimes if you have one of your devices infected, then you will be easy to cut all your information, all your data, and all your devices here. And it is especially important for kids who are very unaware about any threats. It is too natural for them.
As organizations embrace digital age and cyber threats continue to grow, experts here say cybersecurity needs to be at the top of the corporate agenda.
When we're talking about cybersecurity, you have to take it from different levels. The first level is about awareness. You need to make every employee in the enterprise aware about cybersecurity. and not to make any mistake, because if you invest only on product and solution of cybersecurity, you will not be protected. Because if one of your employee, he will open one email by mistake, all your investment are almost gone. So you need to spread awareness in the enterprise, and people should be responsible.
Quite a number of companies are launching foldable devices. But what's so wrong with the phones that we currently have? Here's Lebo Sechake telling us about those foldable devices.
Smartphone's new kid on the block, the foldable phone, has had many tongues wagging in the industry about whether the latest design will be a big hit or not. We found out how some people feel about this latest invention.
I think the whole foldable phone phenomenon is more of a niche and nice to have, as opposed to an everyday accessible device that you can use exactly for that every day. I think not. I think it's more of a nice to have, I suppose.
This whole product is a new innovation, and I can't wait to get my hands on one myself. Absolutely amazing product.
Absolutely. In a personal capacity as well as in business, I think it's something that the South African market has needed for a long time.
Deemed a phenomenon, the foldable smartphone has proven to be somewhat of a challenge to perfect. Samsung's version of the device is one that shows us that there is still more work that needs to be done before the foldable hits the shelves.
The Galaxy Fold is different from normal smartphone. It has a Polaroid on the face. It's not glass or LED LCD. So we are not supposed to peel it off, but for some reason, some people peeled it off, which is a part of the screen. So actually, literally, they damage the screen, few devices. That's why, although that's miscommunication, and if there was no clear communication about that.
Huawei's Chief Technology Officer Akram Mohammed says that the invention is the next step in the evolution of the smartphone.
Everybody knows that you have this slab that's a smartphone now. Every manufacturer out there is trying to make better screens, better cameras, better batteries, but essentially if you look at it at the ground level, it's more or less the same, and the design language is more or less the same. What is that next step in smartphone evolution? And I think that was the driver to be able to see how do we take it to the next level.
Valued at about 2,000 euros, these phones will definitely poke holes in consumers' pockets, but whether the phone will be a hit or a miss in South Africa, well, only time will tell.
Let's go to Senegal now in West Africa, where tech startups are finally taking off.
This is Pups, a mobile application offering a convenient pickup delivery services for anything from the day's fresh fish straight from the fisherman's market to furniture and printers.
On va essayer de faire une application assez simple avec deux fonctionnalités.
We tried to make a simple application with just two functionalities, pickup and delivery. That's the place, that's where we are now. If I want, I take from here, but if I want, I can move on the map here and ask to be delivered to other points. Starting a startup is difficult everywhere. It's no more difficult than anywhere else. The difference maybe is that the support, the subsidies that exist elsewhere do not necessarily exist here.
Existe autre part, n'existe pas forcément ici.
Pups mobile app is one of the bright lights in Senegal's growing startup circles. Fashion designer Sarah Diouf is another Senegal success story. Diouf founded her own fashion label Tongora in Dakar. She only sells online and saw business opportunities in Senegal because of the country's rich culture of tailoring.
I find that we have a culture of tailoring, therefore a culture of confection, which is not fully exploited and promoted. We have tailors who are very, very talented. Unfortunately, I think we just lack a little structure when we find that creativity has passed into business, and so transform this small economy into something more tangible.
According to World Bank figures, the Africa Technology Business Network has mapped the number of tech hubs in Africa. It shows that active tech hubs on the continent have grown by 50% since 2016, when there were 442 active hubs. Senegal had the lowest number at 12 compared to more than 50 each in South Africa and Nigeria and more than 30 each in Kenya and Egypt. However, the country's startups beat odds by claiming the top spot in Francophone West Africa.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we chat about the future of travel.
We do not just speak. We let every voice in our nation find full expression in language and in culture. We do not just teach. We empower all people with education. We do not just bring you the news. We place you where the news is happening. We do not just entertain. We take you on journeys. We do not just broadcast sport. We create an arena for sporting heroes to inspire you. Ours is not just a job, it's a calling to ensure that everyone in our nation is informed, educated, and entertained. We're able to do this because you do your part. SABC TV licenses. It's all made possible by you.
Hey, Baba. You've been partying the whole night.
You complain a lot, man. If it's not the leaves, then it's the noise.
I've asked you so nicely before. Now I'm calling my lawyer.
Ooh, I am so scared. And like, where's your lawyer?
My lawyer is right here. Can't tell neighbors.
Problems with the neighbors? Rental disputes? Advice on maintenance matters? Drawing up a will? Clientele Legal will speak up for you. SMS DEFEND to 32281. We'll call you back.
The SABC News mobile app is your one-stop digital portal to all the news you need. Stay connected with the latest in breaking news. Watch the SABC News channel along with clips and live streams of all the big news events. And listen to all the SABC News radio stations live, including podcasts and much more. Simply download the SABC News app to your Android or iOS device from either the Play Store or the App Store. SABC News, independent, impartial.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Now, it was International Media Freedom Day recently, and a part of that is freedom to communicate online. We took to the streets to find out what some people would do if their favorite online platforms were to shut down for a day.
I would be very much disappointed because I use social media to socialize with my friends, my family, as well as my schoolmates. So without opening television and radio, I also get news on social media on what is going on throughout the country and also around the world. So social media is very important to me every day.
I don't think I'll survive because to me social media is everything, you know. Like it was a place where you can get in contact with your friends, but these days it's a marketing tool. Even the company I came with today, I found it through social media, Facebook. So, you know, to me it's a marketing tool. So without it, I wouldn't be here.
All right, we are at the Chief Albert Lutuli Convention Center in Durban, where Africa's Tourism Indaba is taking place. I'm going inside to have a chat with KwaZulu-Natal Tourism's Tulisile Kalelikile about the future of travel. Tulisile Kalelikile, thank you very much for joining us. Now, maybe if you can start by telling us what Africa's Tourism Indaba is all about.
Africa Travel Indaba is held in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, and we have the hosting rights for the next 5 years. What it is it's actually a platform where we get trade as well as buyers from the international, buyers from KwaZulu-Natal, buyers from South Africa, buyers from the continent to actually come to Durban, KwaZulu-Natal with an aim of showcasing what the continent has on offer in terms of the tourist attractions, so that when people go back to their respective countries, they are able to sell the province as well as the continent with great authority. As Tourism KwaZulu-Natal, we're actually excited to be welcoming all these delegates who are going to be coming here. For the duration of Indaba, we're expecting over 7,000 delegates from all over the world as well as all over the continent. Like I said, who are actually going to be coming here just to get to know what the continent has on offer.
We know in the digital era, do you think that tech has changed the way people travel?
I must say that technology has actually improved the way that people travel. It's actually brought the continents as well closer to each other, because through digital mediums people are actually able to see what each and every one of these countries that they're interested in visiting in has on offer without necessarily setting foot on there. It allows us an opportunity to showcase what destinations have on offer using digital mediums, which allow us to take pictures, which allow us to take videos, therefore giving people virtual experiences of what the destinations have on offer. Over and above that, what digital platforms have done is they've actually enabled access to those various destinations, simply because people are actually able to book online. People are able to make inquiries online and get real-time information in terms of what the destinations have on offer. So like I said, it's actually made access very easy. It's actually made people be able to virtually explore destinations that they are going into without necessarily going in there.
Once people have had those virtual experiences that you're talking about, do they then take action and travel to the destinations, or do they just observe from afar and say, well, that looks pretty, and stop there?
It definitely allows them to take action. Part of the reason why they do that is that they get real-time information, like I said, about what the destination is on offer. And also the nice thing is that people that have already gone onto those destinations are therefore able to provide testimonies about what the destinations have on offer. So people go digitally online just to get reviews about the destinations, and then those reviews help them in terms of making choices about where to visit and when to visit.
And as Tourism KZN, how can people find out digitally about what you have to offer?
We use various platforms. We actually have a tourism app which we utilize to basically get people to understand what we have on offer as a destination. Our apps give people information around accommodation. It gives them information around places they can go to if they want to entertain themselves. It gives them information around the experiences that they can go to if they are interested in exploring the province. So the travel app actually allows us to give people information about what the destination is on offer. So we're utilizing that as a Tourism KwaZulu-Natal to basically get people to understand what we have on offer. Over and above that, we have a website which we heavily utilize to drive a destination awareness, as well as to actually help people drive conversion. When I'm talking about conversion, I'm talking about the ability to basically utilize the website to go into partner websites like accommodation, allowing them to book online. So all of those platforms we are utilizing at Tourism KwaZulu-Natal to enable us to get to our customers. We also use Facebook a lot. We also use Instagram a lot to basically get people to understand what exactly we have on offer. Again, showing them all the experiences that we have as KwaZulu-Natal destination, so that people get to virtually explore what the destination has on offer.
Well, with those platforms that you're telling us about, which are on digital spaces, why do you then see the need to host this particular event?
There's a role that face-to-face interaction has in terms of the whole tourism value chain. What that allows is it allows us to answer a lot of questions that our social media platforms might probably not be able to answer those people. It also allows us an opportunity to interact, and it also allows us an opportunity to basically get trade to now see for themselves what we've been showcasing on our social media platforms. That way they are able to then get a feel, touch, feel, understand what the destination is on offer without necessarily virtually exploring it. So there is a role for both, a role to play in terms of the social media, but also a role to play in terms of just the face-to-face interaction.
Some are scared of technology. We've heard hotels, for example, complaining about Airbnb. We've heard meter taxi drivers complaining about Uber. Why are you embracing technology?
One of the key things that we cannot run away from is that digital media is here to stay. And therefore, because our customers are already utilizing these platforms to get to know about the destinations they want to visit, it's best that we embrace it, because we are now tapping into platforms that they're already using to get to know about destinations. So in embracing it, you actually are you are tapping into what our customers are already doing, so that you can then become relevant, because that's where they're going to be going in terms of searching for information.
And when I'm online on your platforms, what will I find out about?
In terms of online platforms on Facebook, like I said, you go into Tourism KwaZulu-Natal Facebook page. You land on the page, and it basically gives you various information about the destination, where you could go, interesting experiences, people talking about the experiences they've had, so that they get an opportunity to explore, like I said, virtually. If you go into our website, you land on www.zulu.org.za, and it actually takes you into the Tourism KwaZulu-Natal website that allows you an opportunity again to explore various experiences, so that you get to see what KwaZulu-Natal has on offer.
All right, Tulsile, thank you very much for joining us.
Sanbonani, I'm Shani. This is Shoma Josie, aka the captain of the Limpopo Champions League, or the Black Cinderella. My favorite piece of technology is my phone, I have to say, because it's my office. I send emails, I take pictures, I do everything on my phone. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Social media, everything. One of my first songs was Dumenge Phone, which is absolutely true.
We're explorers. We always have been. Endlessly curious, always looking for answers, for new frontiers, for new stories. Because that is who we are. From script to screen, from yelling action to taking you on a journey. Radio producers, script writers, on-air presenters, news reporters, sports analysts. We spend late nights creating captivating storylines and earlier mornings keeping you informed, educated, and entertained. For us, it's not a job, it's a calling. We do this and more because you do your part. SABC TV licenses, made possible by you.
Did you know the big hole digging started in 1871 and ended on the 14th August 1914? The hole produced 2,722 kgs of diamonds. However, one diamond as huge as 490 carat of stone found in the open prior 1868 gave them the interest to dig. Extracted from 22.5 million tons of soil. Today, the hole sits at a breathtaking 214 meters deep. Kimberley Big Hole attracts tourists from all over the world, taking a vintage tram past the city, then cycling around the Big Hole.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now here's what else took place in the rest of the tech space in the rest of the world.
British music tech startup MI.MU has launched a redesigned version of their MY.MU gloves, changing the way musicians play and create electronic music. Sensors in the gloves measure movement in the hand from the tiniest bend of a finger to the orientation of the wrist, freeing up electronic music artists from what the company calls the tyranny of knobs and sliders.
The gloves contain sensors which measure the bend of the fingers and the orientation of the wrist, and then they have electronics in them that send all of that data to a computer over Wi-Fi. Within the computer we have algorithms that can recognize different postures via machine learning, that like a fist or an open hand or a one finger point, or really any posture you want to teach it. And then finally the next phase is that we have our software lets a musician compose their own relationship between the gesture on the one hand and the sound on the other, so they can connect their body to music in whichever way they want.
The first iteration of the MI.MU gloves became popular with a mixture of classical pianists, film composers, beatboxers, in addition to pop star Ariana Grande, who used the gloves on her 2015 world tour. And now moving over to Switzerland. Experts in Britain and Switzerland are building drones which they say will one day autonomously fly around buildings, assessing them and even conduct repairs free of human interference.
It uses the onboard vision to detect a marker on the wall and can then place an anchor. In this case today it's a magnetic anchor, but it could be anything else. So it places this anchor and then pulls back to tighten the string, and then uses an admittance controller to lower itself down to perch in a completely vertical position. By doing then this mobility, elongating the string, you can move up and down and like this assess, repair and sense or sample the surface.
The materials scientists and robotics experts envision drones being buildings' permanent residents as a key component of future cities. And now in the USA. Smoke, lasers and crystals swirl inside a dark subterranean lair on 26th Street and 2nd Avenue in New York and make what appears to be magic. But the lasers are making holograms, and founder of Holographic Studios, Jason Sapin, also known as Dr. Laser, explains the science behind how holograms work.
A hologram is a photograph of the image that light waves have taken off the surface of an object using a technique called interference. When light waves cross each other, think of dropping two pebbles in a pond. Those circles that the pebbles make, well, a wave is a wave is a wave. If you take Play-Doh and you press something into it like a key, you leave an impression. We're using light waves, and a laser is the purest form of light. So we're taking light, and when light bounces off something, it doesn't just bounce off, it takes its impression.
Holographic Studios, which has been open since 1979, is the world's oldest gallery of holography.
Now, as the world observed Workers' Day recently, our Twitter poll this week has been asking you if you've thought about the future of work as we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Now, 57% of respondents say yes, they have thought about the future of work. There's 19% who are saying no, they have not thought about the future of work. We also have 13% who say, well, they haven't really given it much of a thought. And we have people who just say they don't care. The number is at 11%. All right, remember that it is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. That's all we have for you tonight. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one. Good night.
Solani Mkiva says that they